and Ghana and Norway have agreed to extend the Oil for Development program. The 5-year cooperation agreement offers assistance to developing countries in their efforts to manage petroleum resources. With the current program ending next year, Chief Director of the Ministry of Energy, Lawrence Apause, says the Norwegian Foreign Affairs Ministry has expressed willingness to extend the program upon a request from Ghana. He was speaking to my colleague Darokwa in Norway.
Today has been a big day for Ghana at the ONS 2018 exhibition and conference. We've had Ghanaian companies pitch to the Norwegian counterparts. We've also had a delegation from various institutions in the country coming here to facilitate, business opportunities in the oil and gas sector. I've got with me the Chief Director of the Ministry of Energy, Lawrence Apause, who has been with us from day one. How would you describe the mission so far?
I think it's a big success. It's a big success. There are a number of issues that have been outstanding with the Norwegian companies. And we speak from afar. This conference has afforded us to put the names to, to the applications that have been rendered. If I talk of number of issues being outstanding, one of them is the Oil for Development that we started somewhere immediately after we made the discovery. That program is getting out at the end of this year. Yet the implementation of the regulatory regime, the laws and so on and so forth, are just picking up. So one of the issues was how do we go forward from there? And I'm happy to say that we managed to strike a deal here for the extension of that program, Oil for Development, so that we can do the regulations for decommissioning, general petroleum regulations. Even though they are passed, they need to be implemented. So it's a big success.
So for how long is this extension?
Well, the details have not been worked out, but the principle is that yes, they have accepted to extend it.
Okay, for people who are watching and listening who are wondering, what's this Oil for Development program? How is it beneficial to the country? If you could just expatiate on that.
Well, yeah, the Oil for Development was carved out somewhere 2007, thereabout, immediately after the discovery. And it was an initiative of Kofi Annan, the late Kofi Annan, who thought that Ghana didn't need to reinvent the wheel. That all we needed was to look at areas where these things exist, good practices exist, and then just see how we can adapt that to the Ghanaian system. So the Norwegians came out with us with a program that, well, the Oil for Development is a kind of a grant which will allow the Norwegian Petroleum Directorate to help assist the Ghanaian institutions with capacity building. And basically they did that through the ministry. And the key areas were support in resource management, key issues concerning resource management, revenue management, and environmental management. So one of the key things they did at the start was to make a baseline survey of our oceans, what sort of hydrographic parameters existed at the time, salinity, temperature, and so on and so forth. In 10 years' time, which is just about now, they'll do a follow-up to now find out has production brought about any environmental change.
So what's going to be happening for the rest of the day is more B2B engagements here as the ONS conference and exhibition gradually draws to a close. So hopefully the Ghanaian delegation would have achieved in their quest to strike business deals from Stavanger, Norway. This is Darokwa.
Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has disclosed that the Driver Vehicle and Licensing Authority has begun a process to consolidate data from insurance firms in the country. The move, according to him, will help improve motor insurance licensing in the country.
Insurance penetration in Ghana is said to be at a low rate as compared with other countries on the sub-region. Currently, penetration rate is less than 10%. As part of measures to improve the situation, Parliament passed a law which ensures all vehicle owners insure their vehicles. According to the Vice President, after introducing the smart driving license for the country, government has begun a move with the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, to get all insurance data onto a single portal.
Began the process with World Bank support to digitize all our land records in Ghana. So it again goes, we've moved into the issuance of smart driver's licenses and smart vehicle registrations. And by the end of this year, we are linking on the same platform the insurance company data with the driver's license, vehicle license data, so that the police can tell when your vehicle is on the road whether you've insured or not, and we can then have more enforcement. We've also embarked on a lot of port reforms.
The Vice President made the disclosure after a meeting with the Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany, Angela Merkel, during her visit to Ghana. Ghana has also signed a memorandum of understanding with a German firm, Tapcon Limited, Supply Technologies, for the construction of a hybrid solar plant in Ghana, and another agreement for the construction of a pharmaceutical factory.
President of Group Indum, Dr. Papakwesi Indum, is pressing for the implementation of local content in the insurance industry to grow local insurance company. According to Dr. Indum, most local insurance companies miss out on contracts with huge multinationals due to lack of capacity.
Promote local content. The other one has to do with no premium, no cover. Both of them will promote the development and growth financially, on the financial side of the companies that we have. Now, the local content, what it means is that if it is followed to the letter, that the capacities of the insurance companies that we have here in Ghana would have to be maximized before any CD of insurance premium will travel outside of Ghana. Which means that if you're an insurance company, you have good capacity, you have good investment in your company, then you will do maximum business. And then you can become financially strong. If an insurance company becomes financially strong, then it can also have the funds to invest in the local economy, and particularly to provide the long-term capital that we're looking for our local companies in Ghana. It's purely a very simple matter. It is one that's already agreed by the Insurance Commission. It just needs enforcement. It just needs enforcement. And when that is done, our local insurance companies will do well.
Land tenure experts are spearheading efforts to improve land governance to address infrastructural transformations and industrialization deficits in Africa. Provost of the College and Built Environments of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Professor Joshua Ayakwa, says lack of skilled human capital to manage the situation remains a hindrance.
In 2006, the African Union established the Land Policy Initiative with emphasis on improving the regime within a regional context. Though some countries are showing political will for implementation, the pace is slow. Professor Ayakwa cites tenure insecurity, corruption, marginalization of women and youth in land governance as major stumbling blocks.
We've identified that the problem is usually with human capital. There is need to train a lot of people. If you go to our district assemblies, the local administration, there are few people with such expertise. That is why these universities are being pulled together to begin to train people who have a lot of knowledge on this, so that we can begin managing lands from the local levels up to national level.
Network of Excellence in Land Governance in Africa project was established in 2014 to enhance training opportunities and curricula on land governance in Africa. It also promotes demand-driven research on land policy issues and connects scholars and researchers across Africa, in addition to policy reform evaluation. The 22.5 million euro project is funded by German government through GIZ and African Land Policy Center. KNUST represents Anglophone as one of 6 West African universities selected for the project. Advisor for GIZ Academic Cooperation in Africa, Patrick Opoku, encouraged university staff to utilize the agency's scholarship opportunities.
Administration. It is in light of this that the German government is supporting the African Union to build capacities on the African continent. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, ELPC receives organizational and technical advice from us, GIZ, to establish NELGA as a component of the SLGA program. It is important for me to emphasize that there are a number of scholarships for staff capacity development and training through the DAD flexible measures of NELGA. I would like to take this opportunity to encourage all of you to make good use of this opportunity.
The Pro Vice Chancellor, Reverend Professor Charles Ansa, led the team to unveil the KNUST's Network of Excellence in Land Governance Africa office at the Department of Land Economy. Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
You're still watching Business Live. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Business Live. So the much-awaited Kotoka International Airport Terminal 3 facility, popularly known as T3, is ready for use. But have you an idea how the facility looks like? This is just for your viewing pleasure. The top 10 airports in the world, and where does Ghana fall? I leave you. You be the judge. So let's move on. And finally, the Joy Sports Invitational Tournament comes off tomorrow at the Lizzie Sports Complex at Italy Gone in Accra. But you've heard a lot from participating companies, but like they say, the best was saved for the last. So ahead of the big game, the boss players, I'm talking about Team Multimedia, have named their unbeatable squad for tomorrow's showdown.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dominic Isiebo, head coach of Team Multimedia. AKA Saribo. This afternoon, my job is very simple. I'm here to announce the official squad for this year's Joy Sports Invitational Tournament. Formation for this year's Invitational Tournament. 4-3-3. Saribo. All attacking, all defending. Duku Moses, defender. Isaac Opare. Sawen Saki. He is my Luka Modric. Ore Kwampofo. My hurricane. Benedito Usu. Alison Baker. Messi of all goalkeepers. Stephen Thompson. Anthony Amofa. Bernard Krampa. Dennis Thompson. Emmanuel Ante. Razak Larry. Osmane J. Samuel Aka. Gary R. Smith. Lexis Bill. Lexis Bill. Mangolo Kante. Gilbert Ampofu. My Mo Salah. Mo Salah. Kwekutu. Kwekutu. Yes. Jefferson. And Abenego Asante.
All right.
Special scout for the tournament. Georgia Dudunia. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Back in the studio here, I was supposed to be Mo Salah. I don't know what happened. Whether I'm off the team, I don't know. But on that 442 note, we say goodbye on Business Live. I'll be back on Monday for more business news. My name is Sandra Isenamapin. Have a great weekend.